Hello there. My name is Stewart Emery. Imagine hearing one quote that could change the course of your life. Now, I know there's a lot of quotes out there, and a lot of them claim to change the course of your life. I've chosen this one because it really did change the course of my life, although recently in my life, maybe 15 years ago. So we went to interview Ed Penowit. Now, Ed is famous as a former professor of chemistry, molecular chemistry at UC Berkeley. He left there to found a company called Chiron that solved a lot of the riddles of the human genome and DNA and allowed them to develop the AIDS vaccine or make a big contribution to it. And he went on, and when we caught up with him, he was running the Gordon and Betty Moore Foundation. That's Gordon Moore, as in Moore's Law, and one of the founders of Intel. So I was asking Ed, I said, is there something that you could tell people that they could believe in that would really make a difference in their lives? And he said, yes, when I was a professor at Berkeley, I was having some lunch with students in a Chinese restaurant, and I found something we really could believe in. And I'm thinking, well, this man's a scientist and he's looking for fortune cookies. So anyhow, I said, okay, so what happened? He said, well, we opened up the fortune cookie and we read, whatever you are, be a good one. Now, it was a tribute to Abraham Lincoln. I think that may be incorrect, but it's still a wonderful quote, because this is what I found in life. If you really commit yourself to being a good one at whatever you're doing, even if what you're doing you don't think is your thing, even if what you're doing you don't actually like very much. Because if you, for example, come out of college or you go into retirement and you're looking for something to enrich your life, you may come across something that people ask you to do and you think, well, this isn't really my thing. But here is the thing. If you do it and you commit to doing it really, really well, people notice that. If you don't commit to doing it well, people will notice that too, and not in a good way. But if you do it in a good way, and if they say, okay, here's a person who's really committed to doing this well, boy, we want this person on our team. And you'll find that what happens is that doors open to you that you didn't know existed. So in the course of doing a book called Success Built to Last, we interviewed 300 of the world's most successful people, and we were looking for traits they had in common. There were the requisite billionaires. There was Gates, there was Steve Jobs, there was Richard Branson, Michael Dell. We interviewed people like Maya Angelou, Desmond Tutu, Nelson Mandela, Oprah, and a lot of people you might not have heard of, all extraordinary people. And we're looking for a common thread. Now, one of the things we noticed about these people is when you start talking with them and when you look into their eyes, they're alive. Their spirit shines forth, and in their presence you feel uplifted and transported. I noticed in the presence of these people, I liked myself best. It was transformative in the moment. And so we started to delve into that. And it was really clear that all of these people, obviously having built success that had endured through the years, and in almost every case made a huge contribution to the quality of life on the planet that we share. All of these people, somewhere along the way, had found things that they loved to do, and they had committed themselves to being really, really good at it. And they all reported a similar experience. If you truly commit to being good at doing whatever is in front of you, your whole life experience changes at that moment. And you tend to want to hang out with other people from all walks of life who are also committed to being really good at doing something that they love. And what happens then is it's a different conversation. There's not a lot of small talk. There's a lot of inspiration though. And you look into each other's eyes and you feel alive and uplifted and more filled with spirit. Because I think our great human opportunity is to find that spark of the divine within us and to find ways to express that in what passes for external reality with artistry, with skill, with love, and in ways that make a difference. So, of course, it doesn't have to be world changing. You don't have to end world hunger and ensure world peace. It can be some small thing that's meaningful for you. And if you settle down to do it and be good at it, we have interviewed baristas working in cafes, making the most exquisite latte art. We've talked to people who are changing the way we farm on this earth so we can have better food and be less damaging to the planet that we share. We've talked to musicians, painters, business people, without exception, those who have committed to doing whatever it is in front of them really, really well are more alive, they're happy, they experience being successful, and they don't just measure it in monetary terms. They measure it in terms of what they call aliveness, of feeling that they're fully expressing themselves, that they're making a difference. But all of this started with finding one thing they were determined to do well. So this is the 40th anniversary of Learning Strategies. And my dear friend Pete Bissonette asked me to pick my favorite quote and say a few words, because this is my favorite quote. When I look back at my own life, I realized I was a curious person who had always tried to do really well whatever I was interested in, which turned up on my school report many times, always lamenting that if I wasn't interested, I just wouldn't do it. And that is true about me. So anyhow, find something that you love to do, commit to being good at it. Petey and Paul at Burning Strategies have committed to being really good at providing you with resources to become a good one, to become a very good one, and live the best version of your life. Happy anniversary, Learning Strategies.